hospitals. Please, the system is overwhelmed. Our firefighters and our first responders are doing outstanding work to respond to these emergencies, but we ask the public to do their part as well. Maintain themselves safe, make good decisions, don't put yourselves at risk, and it's going to help everybody. And again, with all the resources that the mayor is marshaling and the partners are marshaling, the faith community, we're going to get through this together. But if we ask that you put your part and do things to maintain yourself safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. The Chief was emphasizing, help us help you by helping yourself. Stay off the streets. Make certain that your generator's in a proper location. Numbers to call, 311 if it's non-emergency. Emergency should go to 911. Let me just urge you, we do it so well in Houston. Look out for each other. Look out for your family, your neighbors, your friends, and particularly the most vulnerable, senior citizens. If you have a loved one in an assisted living or independent living location, check on them. Make sure the management is doing their job. Report them if they're neglectful. So look out for each other. Look out for your pets, your neighbors. Everyone wants to get to your issues as quickly as possible. We're holding Centerpoint accountable. I get a report every 4 hours. We tell them to do better, give us updates, and what are you doing to double down and get additional resources to our community. The faith community has been our partners from the very beginning. Longtime civic leader, Yale Street Baptist minister, Metro board member, my friend, Pastor Preston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We just want to reemphasize the fact that we're in this together, and as we stand together, we want to make sure that we let everyone know where distributions are taking place. It's not a time to criticize, but it's a time to publicize. Time to publicize all of the locations where efforts are being made to take care of our citizens. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being out in our community, and we want the women, infants, children, our seniors to come and be partakers of what's being distributed to you. We are here for you.
Thank you, Pastor. Anna, would you come speak Spanish for our Spanish-speaking residents on the advice and counsel of the minister, and also reinforce that the faith community is our partners. But for certain, the public safety aspects and life-saving practices.
Of course. Nada más voy a resumir lo que dijo el jefe de bomberos Peña y también nuestras organizaciones religiosas. Hay tres cosas muy importantes que tenemos que saber ahorita. Nuestros sistemas de bomberos, nuestros sistemas de emergencias están a capacidad, estamos llenos. Nuestros hospitales también están sufriendo la falta de electricidad. Entonces, lo que ustedes pueden hacer es mantenerse a salvo. Hemos tenido más de 200 llamadas de monóxido de carbono. Esos son los humos que salen de su vehículo o los humos que salen del generador. Hay gente que está cargando sus equipo electrónico adentro del carro, adentro del garage, y eso causa que los humos se llenen, vayan a la casa y afecten a sus animales y a su familia, y muchas personas están viendo estos efectos. Más de 200 llamadas de monóxido de carbono. Por favor, no prendan el vehículo si está en un lugar cerrado, y por favor mantengan sus generadores lejos de las ventanas, lejos de las puertas. Otra causa que estamos viendo muchas llamadas es por el calor, la deshidratación. La gente se puede sentir con náuseas, se puede sentir mareada. Todos esos son signos de deshidratación. Tomen mucha agua. La coca, las sodas no son buenas ahorita. Agua es lo que su cuerpo necesita. Y para la gente que es mayor de edad, los niños pequeños, bebés o gente que tiene alguna deshabilidad, por favor vengan y tráiganlos a estos centros. Tenemos más de 30 por toda la ciudad, y nuestros compañeros de la televisión, de las noticias, están poniendo esas direcciones en sus pantallas. Estén al pendiente de dónde pueden ir para salir del calor. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. I want to thank the rank and file of the City of Houston. City employees have been dedicated. We've lost 3 individuals, one to a tree accident, one to a fire in Southeast Houston, and then Mr. Richardson. City of Houston HPD civil employee coming to work the morning of the storm. Took 45 exit onto Houston Avenue, got caught up in deep water in one of the more difficult things that I've had to observe as a grown-up, not just as mayor, to watch HPD retrieve one of their colleagues, one of their friends, a dedicated city employee from 14-foot water right there at Houston Avenue. There are many things that we can improve. And let me put down on the short top of the list. We've got to warn people about high water. We've got to do railroad-type crossings at the different locations. We've identified 49 locations across Houston where water stands in great depth. We've got to not put cones out like the city did on Houston Avenue, using their old model. It was washed away. This gentleman working, coming to work, right in the middle of the storm, lost his life. It was very sad to watch the expressions and the sadness of HPD employees retrieving one of their own, civil employee. Every department at the city of Houston, there's 22, are activated, all hands on deck. HPD went into full mobilization yesterday evening. Every employee of HPD is working 2 12-hour shifts to cover this city. They're getting other resources. Fire, doing everything they can. Concerned about the shortage of ambulances. Yesterday, at one point, of available ambulances, of our resource of ambulances, there was only 4% available, backed up at our regional hospitals. The state heard that yesterday evening, and the emergency center immediately sent us 25 more ambulances, and we're monitoring that very carefully. The collaboration with Commissioner Briones, Ramsey, and Garcia has been one of solidarity with the state, the feds, and our county commissioners. Herbert Sims, here representing the neighborhood department, his people are out here this afternoon helping our residents. So let me close by saying we're going to get through this. It's when Houston does its best work to unite, respect each other, look out for each other, and let's make the nation recognize what a great city we have. Great city, great people, but we have challenges. And when we get through this crisis, we're going to look forward and see how we can improve. With that said, I'm willing to answer any questions. I understand when I got here 15 minutes ago, 200 people had showed up, and we're prepared to go to 600. And we will actually regroup after that if necessary. Thank goodness the HEB, the food bank, and the state emergency center had resources pre-positioned. Most of their food trucks with ice were located at NRG, waiting for the response that we asked for. Sir? We had a briefing from Centerpoint and Council, which ended about 1 o'clock. Their person that's been in the emergency center since before when the storm got here spoke to Council, explained some of their difficulties, what they're doing. They have to walk like mile upon mile. They have to see what the damage is before they know exactly what resource. You got to remember, as they remind us at Council, we're dealing with live wires. So they pre-position people, but they can't decide until an assessment's done of what repairs need to take place. And then you've got to worry about public safety and the safety of their employees. I was pleased with it. Well, obviously, I think all of us can do better. I express that to them on a regular basis. Even in normal times, I expect more from Centerpoint. They've got a huge transmission center next to the Hilton Hotel near the George Brown. Been there for years. It was placed there when that was just a parking lot. I've insisted that they relocate it. That's the most valuable property in Houston next to the George Brown. They've agreed to relocate. So just be assured, I'm a can-do person, and I expect others to be can-do individuals and corporations, and quite frankly, all levels of government. they come into the city. We're receiving generators as we talk. FEMA and the president is relocating some generators. CenterPoint's donated some. The problem is often on city facilities, they weren't designed or built to use generators. So, you know, I get really, really upset when I learn the city of Houston does not have generators at essential services like a fire station. We have 9 fire stations closed, had to relocate because when the power went out, they didn't have generators. Great cities do not operate like that. It's neglect, it's severe neglect, and we're going to fix it as we go forward.
So are you saying those fire stations and maybe the service centers, you can't even get generators because they're not designed to?
Can't do what?
Those service centers and those fire stations, are you saying even if you had a generator for them, they can't use it because they're not designed to?
They do have, they do them to scale. They do the generator to scale, but it doesn't do the complete job. In fact, they can't open without electricity, obviously. Most do not have generators built by design. Sunnyside has a generator. A-Leaf is in the process. But we got like a 10. The only way Acres Home, we had no power and no generation, was we got a hold of CenterPoint. The gentleman asked me, do we talk to CenterPoint? Regularly. We made this a priority. Now we're moving to the others. The West Gray Center, we'll leave here. It's been made a priority. The multi-service centers are our lighthouse in our communities, but they've got to have power, and unfortunately when they don't have power, they haven't had generators. That's one of the reasons we're conducting this. Of course, the drive-through of the foods. But we're going to go in there and talk to our employees and the residents and see what the additional needs are. We have a great city, great people. We knew we had challenges. It's the reason I ran for office, ran for mayor. But during a crisis, it exposes the city's lack of maintenance and infrastructure and city services. We're going to correct that going forward. With that, let me go to work. Thank y'all for being here. Do your job and let the public know. 1, be safe. We're doing everything we can. We're holding CenterPoint accountable. And when this storm is over, we're going to do an assessment of what the needs of the city are going forward. Public safety, for sure, highest priority. And then number 2, it's going to be energy. We've got to get a reliable energy source and backup generators. Thank y'all. Let me go.
Mayor, and then point out that the sales, if they need to get their cell phones charged, there's a lift program.
Why don't you go ahead? Councilmember Jackson, whose district we're proudly in.
Good evening. I'm good afternoon. Councilmember Tarsha Jackson, represent Acres Homes, District B. And so thank everyone, the first responders, for everything that you're doing. This has been a trying time. My lights just came on last night. I'm trying to deal with my dad. His lights are still off. And so one of the things I recognize is that cell issues, cell phones. We can't get through. Even if we have lights, we're having problems like communicating. And so for the folks in Acres Homes, there is a lift program. Do they reach out to the lift Come on, let me know. Do they reach out to get a ride here to charge their phones?
Yeah. Metro Lift is working, by the way.
So you call.
Come on, go ahead.
So for anybody who's looking for a ride to your nearest cooling center, you need to call 311 so that way they can coordinate a free ride. Metro Lift is working as well. And for those of you who are coming to the Acres Home Center specifically, there is a Lift Zone Wi-Fi that is free of charge.
Okay.
You just need to sign in and make sure that you are aware that cell phone towers are not fully working. So there are dead zones within Acres Homes and other parts of the city of Houston. So make your way to a cooling center with the Wi-Fi so you can stay up to date.
Okay, thank you, Rain. And I just want to echo the mayor. I'm pretty sure he said call 311 and 911 is emergency, because we're getting a lot of calls with people having trees on their roof. Call 311 or 911 and then they can take care of the situation. And Mayor, thank you for your leadership in all of this. Doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank to all of our partners. We're going to go to work. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Is that your phone, sir?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.